Good afternoon. I am Colonel Billy Wilson, the commander of basic military training. I'm glad we had this opportunity to have a discussion. So, why are you here? I will tell you that you are here to train both your body and your mind.
Be better every day. Be better.
You are here to train your body and your mind. Not one or the other, both. I often ask new recruits, why the Air Force? And I often get, well, I want to be part of an institution. I want to be part of something that is larger than myself.
Remember why you are here. Remember those people that came before you. Everything that you do needs to come with a passion and a vigor that is unmatched.
There will be stress. It will be stressful. And I will tell you that it is stressful by design. So the question remains, when you start feeling stressed out, what are you going to do? Are you going to react or are you going to respond? I expect you to respond to the demands that are being placed upon you, pushing you out of your comfort zone, forcing you to grow, because that's why you're here. You're here to be transformed from what you were to what you need to be, to what your nation needs you to be. Each and every one of you will earn your place here. This will not be given to you. And as you earn your place here and head toward graduation day, having earned it, you will have a sense of accomplishment and fulfillment. And it will be meaningful to you. And as you depart this place, you will be proud of what you've accomplished.
At this time, please find a place to sit. Thank you, and enjoy today's ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the arrival of our official party. Please remain standing for the invocation given by Chaplain Volkovinsky.
Please join me for the invocation, if you would. Almighty God, on this momentous day, when these men and women finally reach their goal of graduating from BMT, we first thank you for all the support that has helped them achieve this moment. From the MTIs that have led and mentored them, to all the support staff working behind the scenes, and the loved ones cheering them on from a distance. As these airmen prepare to transition to the next stage of their careers, instill in them a character of service before self, integrity, and excellence, so they may live out the lessons they have learned here at BMT. May you bless and keep them as you turn your face towards them, being gracious unto them and giving them peace. Amen.
Thank you, Chaplain. Please be seated. Good morning. On behalf of the 37th Training Wing, we would like to introduce our distinguished guests, beginning with the host for today's ceremony. The Commander, Department of the Air Force Basic Military Training, Colonel Billy Wilson, Jr. The Senior Enlisted Leader, 737 Training Group, Chief Master Sergeant Whitfield Jack. The reviewing official, the Deputy Chief of Staff for Logistics, Engineering, and Force Protection, Lieutenant General Tom Miller. The Senior Enlisted Advisor to the Deputy Chief of Staff for Logistics, Engineering, and Force Protection, Chief Master Sergeant Robert Barrier. Also in attendance with us today, the Commander, 37th Training Wing, Colonel Will Cooper. The Command Chief, 37th Training Wing, Chief Master Sergeant Carlos Damian. The Commander, 179th Cyberspace Wing, Colonel Darren Hamilton, accompanied by his wife, Terry. Although time does not permit us to introduce all of our distinguished guests, the 737 Training Group is proud to welcome each of you. We hope you enjoy today's ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, prior to today's ceremony, we would like to recognize our newest military training instructors. These instructors have undergone a rigorous 5-month training pathway comprised of formal academic classes and task qualification requirements. They have earned the distinct honor of donning the dark blue campaign hat. From the 326 Training Squadron, Technical Sergeant Jordan Russell. From 1st Delta Operations Squadron, Technical Sergeant Bailey White. From the 326 Training Squadron, Technical Sergeant Ryan Smolinski. From the 321st Training Squadron, Technical Sergeant Quentin Alston. From the 324th Training Squadron, Technical Sergeant Manuel Gurion. From the 324th Training Squadron, Technical Sergeant Sarah Wilson. From the 320th Training Squadron, Staff Sergeant Lauren McKay. From the 320th Training Squadron, Master Sergeant Jeffrey Brown. From the 320th Training Squadron, Technical Sergeant Matthew Smiley. From the 320th Training Squadron, Technical Sergeant Kirk Dixon. At this time, we ask that all military training instructors, past and present, to stand in a sign of unity as our newest instructors recite the MTI Pledge. The military training instructor hat that I wear
is a symbol of honor, professionalism, integrity, service, and excellence in all I do. My job is one of the most important to the Air Force, and I will spare no effort to properly prepare men and women for military service. I am dedicated to the principles of fairness, firmness, and honesty. I strive for perfection and reject mediocrity, both in my own personal behavior and in the performance of those I lead. I am an Air Force military training instructor, and above all, I am an American Airman.
Present. Hard. Or dirt. Hard. Post.
The dark blue campaign hat these instructors receive today has been the symbol of the MTI Corps since 1974. These instructors will carry on the traditions and esprit de corps of the United States Air Force as they pass on their knowledge to our newest generation of airmen. Our Commander of Troops is Master Sergeant Justin King. Lieutenant General Miller will review today's ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the playing of the national anthem. Thank you. Please be seated.
Sir, the fight is fought. Take your post. Report! All present or accounted for. Publish the order. Attention to order. Detail for today. Document officer today. Technical sergeant. Water. By order of Colonel Wilson. Officer.
Over the last 7.5 weeks, the men and women before you have transformed from civilians into motivated, disciplined warriors with a foundation rooted in the Department of the Air Force's one team, one fight mantra. Once they leave basic military training, they will continue on to technical training to learn the skills needed to perform in one of 118 specialties. They will then move on to serve at one of 84 installations around the globe or work directly with our sister services. As they move on to technical training, they will continue to focus on adapting to military requirements, achieving occupational proficiency, and learning how to be highly productive members of the armed forces. These men and women will prepare for increased responsibilities and must ensure they are trained, qualified, and mission ready for the great power competition. These graduates are the future of our national defense and will pave the way for the generations that will follow. 737th Training Group, United States Air Force, Joint Base San Antonio-Lackland, Texas. Subject, Commander's Excellence. The Commander's Excellence streamer is awarded to the 321st Training Squadron, Flight 064, for their significant accomplishments demonstrating teamwork, excellence, and esprit de corps during the period of 4 November 2024 through 19 December 2024. Signed, Billy Wilson, Jr., Colonel, United States Air Force. The Commander's Excellence Flight was led by Technical Sergeant Quentin Alston and Staff Sergeant Manuel Acuna. Of the hundreds of thousands of American citizens that enter the workforce each year, less than 1% have joined the ranks of the United States Armed Forces. The graduates before you have reached a milestone in their military journey and will require your continued support to assist them in their future endeavors.
Sir, I present the command.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the playing of musical honors. Thank you. Please be seated.
Staff, change post. March! Give your squadron order!
The graduates passing in review today represent a portion of the 42,000 men and women who will complete basic military training this year. The 737 training group provides all recruits the essential military training to become motivated members of the world's greatest Air Force. The military training instructors are responsible for the indoctrination, development, and discipline of the airmen. They have dedicated endless hours to ensure all training objectives are met. Today's graduates have proven through academic studies, military training, physical training, and the development of teamwork that they are ready to take their place in the United States Armed Forces. As our graduates turn left onto the bomb run to pass in review, they will march over the Enlisted Heroes Walk. The men and women recognized on the papers have been awarded our nation's highest honor, representing heroic and unselfish actions as members of the United States Armed Forces during conflicts across the globe. Their decorations include 9 Medals of Honor, 23 Air Force Crosses, and 162 Silver Stars, awarded for bravery during encounters with hostile enemy combatants. These enlisted heroes serve to inspire all service members to execute their duties courageously and with honor in their service to this great nation. We would like to direct your attention to our national, state, and territorial flags. As these flags pass in review, please stand and render the appropriate courtesies for our national flag. As a reminder, military members and veterans in uniform will stand at attention and render a salute. We ask that our civilian guests stand and place their right hand over their heart. Veterans and military members not in uniform may either render a salute or place their right hand over their heart. Once the flags have passed, please be courteous of others and be seated in order to allow all our guests the opportunity to view the flights as they pass in review. Now passing in review, the Commander of Troops, Master Sergeant Justin King, Master Military Training Instructor, Hometown, American Samoa, Paloa. From the 324th Training Squadron, A Squadron Staff, led by Master Sergeant Michael Jones, Master Military Training Instructor, Hometown, Jacksonville, North Carolina. From the 326th Training Squadron, Flight 070, led by Technical Sergeant Jordan Russell, Military Training Instructor, Hometown, San Angelo, Texas. Flight 069, led by Technical Sergeant Bailey White, Military Training Instructor, Hometown, Hot Springs, Arkansas. Flight 068, led by Technical Sergeant Ryan Smolinski, Military Training Instructor, Hometown, Hamburg, New York. Flight 067, led by Technical Sergeant George Emery, Military Training Instructor, Hometown, Colorado Springs, Colorado. From the 321st Training Squadron, Commander's Excellence Flight, Flight 064, led by Technical Sergeant Quentin Alston, Military Training Instructor, hometown, Hartford County, Maryland. Flight 063, led by Technical Sergeant Riley Denny, Military Training Instructor, hometown, Cairo, Kansas. Flight 062, led by Technical Sergeant Jacob Riley, Military Training Instructor, hometown, South Choppy, Florida. From the 322nd Training Squadron, the Color Guard, led by Technical Sergeant Daniel Phelan, Military Training Instructor, hometown, Albuquerque, New Mexico. From the 324th Training Squadron, Flights 065 and 066, led by Technical Sergeant Manuel Gurion, Military Training Instructor, hometown, Colorado Springs, Colorado. From the 323rd Training Squadron, B Squadron Staff, led by Technical Sergeant Joseph Pullins, Military Training Instructor Trainer, hometown, Ocean Springs, Mississippi. From the 321st Training Squadron, PT Excellence Flight, Flight 061, led by Staff Sergeant Jada Francisco, Military Training Instructor, hometown, York, Pennsylvania. From the 320th Training Squadron, Flight 060, led by Staff Sergeant Lauren McKay, Military Training Instructor, hometown, Brooklyn, New York. Flight 059, led by Master Sergeant Jeffrey Brown, Military Training Instructor, hometown, Omaha, Nebraska. Academic Excellence Flight, Flight 058, led by Technical Sergeant Matthew Smiley, Military Training Instructor, hometown, Brownsboro, Texas. Flight 057, led by Technical Sergeant Kirk Dixon, Military Training Instructor, hometown, Vallejo, California. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the playing and singing of the United States Air Force song. Thank you. You may be seated. Musical support for this morning's ceremony has been provided by the Airmen from the 321st Training Squadron, performing under the direction of Staff Sergeant Philip Castro, military training instructor, hometown, McAllen, Texas. These individuals have been hand-selected to perform for today's ceremony. In addition to completing all basic training syllabus and training requirements, Drum and Bugle Corps members commit additional training hours for practice throughout their weeks of training. Their extra effort demonstrate commitment and teamwork. With each Drum and Bugle Corps performance, they honor the long-standing tradition of live music at formal military ceremonies. We would like to take a moment to congratulate all of our honor graduates as well as their families. Basic military training honor graduates distinguish themselves by being ranked in the top 10% of all graduates in their class. The exceptional integrity, service before self, and excellence, combined with character, commitment, connectivity, and courage they displayed throughout basic military training, earned them this outstanding distinction. As the flights march forward for the oath of enlistment, we would like to reflect on our establishment. The United States Air Force was born with the passage of the National Security Act on September 18, 1947. Since then, anytime and anywhere America and its allies have needed air power, airmen have answered the call. Today, with a legacy of excellence and a spirit of courage, we work to develop mission-ready airmen in the context of great power competition. With the support of the American people, our airmen are ready to meet these challenges by following the examples of those who came before us. In short, by innovating, accelerating, and thriving as we move into the future.
Eight flag down! U.S. flag down! Eddie!
Ladies and gentlemen, Lieutenant General Miller will now come forward and address our graduating class.
All right, good morning, everyone. To all the families to start with, if that doesn't get your heart going, it's not ever going to go. The families that are here, the support that I'm looking at from right here, what your airmen that's standing out there can see right now is that they are supported. And when I look at the newest airmen in the United States Air Force, I'm so encouraged. When you decided to raise your hand and swear to defend your country, you made one of the most consequential decisions of your life. You volunteered to step forward when others won't. And your nation trusts you. The trust that's placed in an airman to defend their country is a very high trust. And wearing the cloth of your nation is a great honor. I have a few thoughts for you on trust before you do the oath of enlistment, an oath that I hope you'll take a number of times throughout your Air Force service. So the family that's standing behind me, they showed great trust. I can tell you, there is nothing that takes more trust than to give your son or daughter to the United States Air Force to wear the cloth of our nation. Their trust is in the Air Force, and it's well placed. Since your arrival at basic training, you've learned to trust each other. You've learned to solve problems, work your way through friction and fog, and you probably accomplished some things together that you didn't think were possible. And in that process, you might have learned to trust yourself a little more, which will be important. When I look at the 682 airmen that are standing in front of me, I see the future. There's no doubt that we live in a dangerous world. We do. There are people in this world who wish us harm. They want to destabilize and move the United States' position of leading for freedom off the map. They want to change the world order, and you're what's standing between that happening and the life we live today. Those people, those nations that wish us harm, they don't see what we're looking at right now. They don't see the tenacity, the ingenuity, the motivation of an American airman. So when I look at our future, I have trust too. I have trust because I can see you. You are our future, and I trust you. When you came to this place over 7 weeks ago, you were following in the footsteps of literally American heroes. You studied their names. Some of the places here are named after them. Names like Levittow, Fitzenbarger, Chapman. These are American Airmen heroes. They stood where you're standing, on a field where you're standing. They were trained and led and mentored by MTIs that showed them what it takes to go from being a civilian to being an airman that defends your country. They were just like you, and you have the choice to be just like them. Your nation needs to be defended. Your nation trusts you to defend it. You've shown yourself to be worthy of that trust. So I have just one question for you. Are you ready to join the greatest Air Force in the world? I think they're ready.
Please stand as Lieutenant General Miller will now administer the oath of enlistment. Instructors, place your flights at attention.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, and state your full name. Do solemnly swear or affirm. That I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States. Against all enemies, foreign and domestic. That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same. And that I will obey the orders of the President of the United States. And the officers appointed over me. According to the regulations and Uniform Code of Military Justice. So help me God. Congratulations, Airman.
Thank you, Lieutenant General Miller. Please remain standing while our graduates recite the Airman's Creed and for the departure of the official party. I am an American Airman. As a reminder, military members and veterans in uniform will stand at attention and render a salute as the U.S. flag passes. We ask that our civilian guests stand and place their right hand over their heart. Veterans and military members not in uniform may either render a salute or place their right hand over their heart. Once the flags have passed, please be courteous of others and be seated in order to allow all our guests the opportunity to view the flights. As a reminder, the flights are positioned as viewed from the bleachers to the left of the reviewing stands. Flights 070, 069, 068, 067, 064, 063, 062, and to the right of the reviewing stands, flights 061, 060, 059, 058, 057. Please remain in your seating area. The graduates will be dismissed momentarily. Town Pass ends at 1800 hours. When dropping off members, please stay in your vehicle. Family members are not authorized to enter any training area. Please be careful while exiting the bleachers and while moving into the grassy areas. For your safety, we also ask that you refrain from climbing the guardrails and only use the stairs to exit the bleachers. Thank you, and please enjoy your stay at the 37th Training Wing, Joint Base San Antonio-Lackland, Texas.